Hello and welcome to another edition of the Blue Review. Today we're going to be talking about the seminal classic, The Sound of Music, from 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. When this movie came out in 1965, it was one of the biggest box office draws since Gone with the Wind. It was huge. It was everywhere. It spawned indelible classics. I remember as a kid, we would have these like Christmas pageants where all the kids in first or second grade would have to sing like songs as a group, and we always every year somebody always had to sing favorite things. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, and that's from this fucking movie. And when you would take music classes, you'd have to learn how to sing "Doe, a deer, a female deer." That's from this fucking movie, as well as "The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music." It's based off of a Roger and Hammerstein play, and was turned into a movie by director Robert Wise, who also did Star Trek the Motion Picture, as well as a film called The Sand Pebbles with Steve McQueen. If you haven't seen The Sand Pebbles, definitely check that out. Robert Wise was all over the place, and he loved making these big epic movies. So if you're going to sit down and watch Sound of Music, clear out about 3 hours of your life, because that's how long this fucking thing is. It went on to win Best British Academy Awards, a whole slew of other awards. I think Julie Andrews won an award for this, and it really kind of just established her as this huge star. Because also in 64, 65, she came out with Disney's Mary Poppins, which was another huge film. She'd go on to be just a very successful actress, and now writes children's books, and occasionally acts in films like The Princess Diaries. The Sound of Music also stars actor Christopher Plummer, as well as a bunch of children actors. One of the actresses, I don't know if it tells her name. Her last name is Cartwright, and her sister is Veronica Cartwright, who is an Alien. But anyways, the movie is about this woman played by Julie Andrews who's studying to be a nun, but she's not very good at it. She'd rather spend her time romping through the hills and singing, and she's just everybody really likes her, but she just doesn't have what it takes to be a nun. She doesn't have the commitment. And so they send her off to be like a nanny for this retired soldier played by Christopher Plummer, who's got 7 kids and a dead wife. And so she goes there, and of course she interjects fun into their life, which he sort of tried to run as a military brigada. In the meantime, or sort of in the backdrop of all this, is the looming kind of Nazi threat, because the movie takes place not in Germany but in Austria, which is Germany's next door neighbor. And so the threat, or the looming threat of like Nazi invasion in Austria, kind of permeates the backdrop of this movie. And the songs are amazing, and they're so effortlessly kind of woven in and out of the film. It's a perfect musical, because while people break out in songs, it doesn't feel like, a lot of times you watch a musical and then all of a sudden it's like Bob, and then they break into a song. It's like, I think we need to get an abortion, Susan. And she's like, abortion, abortion. And you're just like, what? What the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? This movie, you don't even notice the fact. They like sort of slip into the songs, and you're just like, oh my God, they're singing. And then you start singing along with the movie, because the songs are so catchy, so amazing, but they've also been so burned into our psyche, because you hear them everywhere. And it's a really great film. But it has its faults as well. It's slow. It is a fucking slow drag. And there's a big intermission in the middle, which is very... that was how they made movies in those days, especially if they were this long. They would have an entrance music, then they'd have, an overture, then you watch the first half of the movie, then they'd go to an intermission, then they'd have an entrance music again where you come back into the theater, then you watch the last half of the movie, and then they'd have some credits. That was the format of the day. And so they include that a lot of times when they do these movies on the home video version. It is, so that cuts out a little section of the 3+ hour running time, but oh my God, it drags on and on and on. What's great is having it on home video is you can just watch the first half. Go do something. Go to the store, go whatever. Come back and watch the second half of the movie. That's the joy of having it in home video. I can't fucking recommend this enough. I don't know what 20th Century Fox is doing over there. They fucking jam-pack this thing so full of special features. I mean, you can just see it. This whole section in here. It's just everything that you could possibly want. The picture quality is so fantastic. I mean, it's a 5-star. And I don't like to give out 5-star very much, but this is just 5-star across the board. It's virtually flawless. It's amazing. It looks like it was shot yesterday. You know, it looks like you could like fucking reach into the movie and you would be transported immediately to Austria, circa, you know, the late 30s. It's just a great movie, great songs, great performances. It's a little slow, but you know what? Watch however much you want, and if you start getting bored, turn it off and come back. You know, it's got fucking bookmarks on it, so bookmark it and come back later. Overall, this is like 15 bucks. You know, 10, 15 bucks. Pick it up. It is fucking worth it. It is an amazing movie. And it's definitely one that you have to see if you've never seen it. Alright, so that's this week. We'll be back another time and review some other stuff. So until then, this has been the Blue Review. Space, bitches!